problem? What is the problem here? What is the problem? Answer me.
We were told that this is a
No, I have not been told. I was told to leave there. I was told to leave down there, and I was on public property the whole time. So I don't understand why you're harassing me.
You were told to leave the rodeo grounds.
No, I was
still on
not
the rodeo
told to leave the rodeo. That's a lie.
Well, regardless what you may or may not be told for, now that's what you're being instructed.
I don't have any. Why am I being told to leave when I don't have anything in my hands?
We're not going to stand here and argue with you.
Sir,
We're waiting for our command staff, and they'll come.
And they'll violate my rights, and we've got your names. And
Here on July 3rd, 2012, as we're on public property gathering signatures.
Actually, you're on private property gathering
this is
signatures.
public right now.
I'm sorry, this road, this street is public property.
According to the Rodeo Association, it is not.
My name's Dwayne, and I am a paid solicitor. I've been doing this for 4 months. And by and large, dealing with the public is trying sometimes, but you meet good and bad people. I've been canvassing in various locations, mostly on the west side, but I go to public places like libraries, I'll go to fairs, I'll go to public transportation locations, farmers markets, and open air type public events, Blues Fest, 4th of July celebrations. So that's where I see people, that's where the public is, and that's where I go to talk to them about the issues of the day. I did have one experience recently while I was canvassing. I was in front of an establishment, a liquor store, and I was courteous enough not to be in front of the door, but maybe 50 feet away. And the owner or manager came out and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" Now, he wasn't very friendly, so I didn't like his approach at how he handled things. Had he been more pleasant and polite, I would have been more amenable to following his instructions and moving a little bit further away. But as it was, he was rude, and I didn't like his belligerent attitude, and so he said, "Hey, you need to move away from here. You can't be gathering signatures." And I politely said, "Well, it's my right, and this is a public walkway, and so I'm going to stay here." And he said, "Well, I'm going to call the police." And I said, "Well, be my guest, and I'll see them when they get here." And then about 30 minutes passed, and he came out, and he said, "Hey, can you move? I'm serious. I'm going to call the police." I said, "Well, you said that 20 minutes ago, and I'm still here. So you're going to do what you're going to do, and I'm going to do what I have to do, but this is my right, and I know that." So we were at
Minville today, and I am a professional circulator. And it's a real nice day here in McMinnville, and I'm gathering signatures here at the McMinnville market. They'll walk around, no problems. But in the past year of petitioning, I've had a problem getting thrown out of many public events that are open up to everybody. And I'm having a problem, to express my First Amendment right and also to make a living, because I am a paid circulator. And I think it needs to be addressed that we live in a country that no longer follows the Constitution, and that people are discriminating against people that are trying to voice their First Amendment right. And I really feel it needs to stop. I had an incident in Northeast Portland, and I'm not going to disclose the location, but I was standing on a public street in front of a store, and the police were called about me. And when the police officer got there, he was very rude, was right almost nose to nose with me, telling me that I could be arrested for kidnapping for blocking the door. I was standing 15 feet approximately to 12 feet away from the door. The particular store did not want me out there, but a lot of people were signing my petitions. It turned out to be a really great location for me. But the officer really threatened me, and I felt very threatened, so I did call my employer and let him know if I was arrested, he better come get me. It ended up, though, that for some reason he just kind of let it go. But that happened to me twice at that store. I've been thrown off of at Farmers Market at Hillsborough numerous times, and it's a public street, and they claim that I cannot petition there because it's a private event, and I don't see how an event that's open to the public becomes private. It's also happened at some of the county fairs. There are events too where people are very, very nice and they do let you petition, but it's getting to a point where there's hardly anywhere to go anymore. In this campaign, 6 times exactly, and I've been escorted off of 4 different premises while I was petitioning by security with the threat of calling the police if I did not leave the event. One was the Master Gardener Show in Clackamas County, which was also open to the public. I don't know if that is public property. I didn't check into it, but they did end up letting me petition outside the gates, so I did get that far with them, but they did escort me off the property. At Oaks Park, it was Multnomah County Fair, which is open to the public, but I guess if you're a petitioner, it becomes a private event. So I was escorted off of those premises. And all the places that I've been escorted from, I never had any altercations or any words with any of the people, the public that was there. If they say no, they don't agree with my petition and they don't want to sign, I always tell them, thank you very much, have a nice day, enjoy the event. So I don't know what the problem was, but for me, this was the worst petition season that I've had. I do know of other canvassers who also were thrown off the max, excluded from the max. Of course, they did win their cases that they got back on the max, but the point of them having to win a case for a First Amendment right just didn't seem fair to me.
Hi, my name is Lori. I've been a signature gatherer for over 2 years. I've been harassed by police several times on public property. The first time was down in Kaiser, Oregon. So the mayor of Kaiser then had the police come and they told me I could not gather signatures there. I did leave. The next time was last fall at the Tiger Library. It was drizzly and I wanted to be under, there's a little bit of cover there. The library staff called the police and they came and told me I could not be there on public property. Again, I left. The next time was in March 30th. I was at the DMV in Gladstone. I'd been gathering signatures for over a year there. Manager of the DMV decided that she didn't want us where we had been, and again called the police, and they threatened me with arrest if I ever came back. I left. I have not been back there yet. The next time was April 30th at the Ag Fest in Salem on public property at the State Fairgrounds, which is all public property. We were told that we could not be under the shelter, that we had to be out on the sidewalk. I was threatened with arrest again by security guards. They were very verbally abusive. One was trying to film me. I held up my clipboard to block him from being able to film, and the other one became if you hit me, I'm gonna charge you with assault, blah 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 blah. They were claiming that the property was being leased, so it was not public property. They were in error. The last 2 times I've actually been arrested. I was at the Hillsborough Stadium at the Hippie Chicks half marathon run. I'd been having conversations with my manager. He said, go ahead and just let them arrest you if it happens again. So I did not back down when I was told I could not gather signatures again on public property at a public event. Then the most egregious to me was last night on July 4th. I was at a public park where there was a fireworks celebration. I was approached by one officer. She said if I guess I did something that startled her. She said if I did it again, she would tase me. And then quickly after that, another police officer approached. He told me I was being detained. Within minutes, there were 6 to 9 other cops there. I had a conversation with the city manager. I read them a letter from our attorney saying that we have the right to gather signatures on all public property, but they're just not. They did not listen. They're not interested in listening to a regular citizen. They told me I was being detained. I asked on what grounds. He said on harassment and trespassing. Within minutes, there were 6 to 9 police officers surrounding me in a circle. I could not, and the city manager came and he said that I had to get a permit, which is, my permit is the U.S. Constitution. Sat down, I reached into my pockets to take my phone out, to call my lawyer. I had told them a number of times I wanted to call my lawyer. They denied me that right. As soon as I reached into my pockets, they went ballistic on me. They grabbed my arms, twisted them up, and put me in cuffs. They were hurtful. It hurt my shoulders, and they put me in cuffs, and then stuck me in the car, took me to the Oregon City jail. I was body searched 4 times. They did not have any warrant to do so. And 4 thorough times. It was all you could do to retain your composure, for me to retain my composure. I felt violated. There was just no reason for that, and for it to be done 4 different times. While I was at the park, I was frisked in front of about 60 to 70 people. Then I was taken down to the county jail and had body searches 3 different times, which to me was quite rather excessive and violating my personal space. And then I was fingerprinted and mugshot and put in a holding cell with 3 other inmates. This was done all because I was gathering signatures on a public property at a public event on 4th of July because of the liberty that our forefathers gave to us at that time, on that date. Okay, this has got to stop. We do not live in the USSA. We live in the USA right now. Our rights are being shredded every day, and it is just absolutely wrong what the police are doing to private citizens on public property and to petitioners and specifically who are gathering signatures expressing their First Amendment rights to redress grievances with the government. Yes, I was traumatized. I will continue to fight for my First Amendment rights.